happens very often. They're involved at the last minute, which is more or less, which at least to us seems like a greenwash. And this irks us more. One is that not being involved in the process. And, two, the very fact that people tend to think that environmentalists are anti-development tends to get that, that feeling that, well, if we call them, then they're going to be roadblocks, it's going to take time, which is not really true. We have, talking of Greenpeace, an organization which I represent, which has offices in about 40 countries across the globe. We worked very closely with industry, very closely on pushing industries on a development trajectory. At the same time, we have also opposed certain, shall I say, projects which we think destabilize the environment. So I think one main ground rule is including everybody, at least making the process as broad-based as possible, as consultative as possible, and then try to get various opinions and work out on some sort of a development pathway which does not damage the environment. I think that's the key. I would stop for now.
Yeah, Srinivas, thanks for this opinion. I would like to know from Mr. Sagi and Mr. Joseph, they being part of the government, that why is it that in India, I don't know how it happens elsewhere in the world, that the environment and local concerns are not part of the developmental process? Because can government take some policy measures where the project developers have by I won't call it force, but by the process itself, they are involved at a very early stage. Of course, we have an environmental ministry and all projects pass through that. But it's seen, we being part of the consulting side, they are seen more as a hurdle to be crossed, not really a consultative process. And I would like Mr. Natarajan also to give comment, because he may have been involved in many of such things earlier. But before that, I would like to know from Captain Sagi and Mr. Joseph, why we have environment and sustainability as a hurdle to cross, but why we don't have it as part and parcel of our development process? Captain Sagi.
Thank you, Ramesh. As far as the shipping and the ports are concerned, I don't think we have really faced much of a difficulty as far as the environmentalists are concerned. Yes, there have been some delays, but where the Greenpeace has really made its presence felt is, I think, in Alang and Nabra also, yes. So I think something good has come out of it, and we should certainly not have the fears on it. We would also like to, the bodies like Greenpeace and the other sister concerns to, come forward and assure us the kind of assurance we have just got from Mr. Srinivas, is that, they are here with us for the development, they are not against the development. Another fear, which is there in the industry and perhaps in some parts of the government also, that some of these bodies are funded, by certain vested interest in the developed countries, and their agenda is to make the development more expensive in the developing countries, and hence make it more expensive and hence make it less competitive in the name of environment. Now, this is a concern which, again, the likes of Mr. Srinivas should come forward and show the investors and the people in the government that that is not the case. And I think then there should be absolutely no issue that why we can't work together if these concerns are taken care of. Thank you.
I agree with what Captain Sagi has said. And I was happy to hear Mr. Srinivas say that balance is necessary, and that environmental sustainability of management to bring about development is what our aim is. We are very happy to hear that. I personally agree that yes, environment is very important, sustainable development is important, and the elements comprising of these things should be inherently built into all developmental projects. Earlier, for about 10 years, I used to be in urban development. And in urban development also we met with a lot of NGOs dealing in environment. And as Captain Sagi said, sometimes delay becomes an issue. Sometimes the thin margin of profit becomes the issue. Now, if these two matters are dealt with more in detail, both sides will understand what's happening. You know, if the profit margin is 8 to 10%, and for environmental measures I have to take 12 to 15% of expenses more, then there is a problem. Now, sometimes delay makes it much worse. You know, I remember in 1993 appearing before the Environmental Council for this Pune-Bombay Expressway, and as Secretary of Urban Development, naturally I was pleading my side of the story. Everybody was shaking his head saying, yes, this road is very nice, expressway will lead to development. Then somebody piped up saying, what about the mountain squirrels on way? Oh, they'll be upset. You won't believe, probably it took another 5 to 6 years to get over this kind of a hurdle. Same way with Bandra link. I remember appearing again for a separate project, you know, the sea link. And I was told, what about the seagulls which lay eggs there? Now where will they lay their eggs? I'm giving you examples of what actually happened. Now, yes, it is very true. Even I am very fond of seagulls. I even write poems on them. And quite interested in many aspects of environment. No jokes, I really mean it. If you see my biodata, I'm a life member of Bombay Natural History Society for the last 30 years. I knew Dr. Salim Ali, etc. As Collector Bombay, we gave them land. So it's not as if we are on different sides. I'm only, because Mr. Srinivas is here, I'm sure he will take the other side. So I'm just saying what has happened in my personal experience in the last 15 years, you know, as Secretary UD or in shipping. So then what happens? People solidify that stand, you know, oh, if I go there it means 5 years delay or it means so much more. Then naturally it becomes us versus they, you know, so then you try to avoid a little bit. So then participation becomes nominal, and as he correctly complained, last moment just for, you know, he used the word greenwash, you use any phrase, but it would mean, okay, I try and sort of comply with some requirements, nominally speaking. Whether you like it or not, India is a nation of hypocrites. I mean, whether it is within the family or in society or in government, there is no exception to this. We are so hypocritical, we keep saying I love my wife and do something else. We will say, yeah, this is our government, we will do something else. Same way with environment. We will all say, yes, environment is very important, but when it comes to brass tacks, if my plot is open, I will say, no, I will develop as much as I can. Now, so in my opinion, the issue raised is very, very important and it's crucial. Let me just shift to shipping and port. Now, generally in shipping and port, we have been saying we are very environment friendly because water transport is not like road transport or rail transport, etc. But of late, those of you who are reading would have read that probably global warming contribution more comes from shipping side, they are saying, because of fuel, etc. And I also find that ships, they are going into research and saying, you know, if a sail is attached, maybe you don't have to use so much of fuel, and they did the first experiment. Or they are saying if you reduce the speed of the ship, then probably global warming will reduce. Now, these are all very interesting ideas, and as somebody who has been in government for so long, I would say, yes, even government should encourage these things. But encourage means what? First you must study whether they are true, is that the best option available, and is that going to affect productivity positively or adversely? If it is adversely affecting, then what should we do? Immediately government thinks of subsidy, and many people then come to government, business will come and say, yeah, we are ready to do for environment purpose, but then you must subsidize whatever loss we incur. Now, while there is an element of surface logic in these matters, one has to go into it. You cannot just straight away say yes, because you don't know all the implications. You know, slowing down a ship, you know, in order to emit less smoke,